Hey guys, welcome to the latest video games chapter. And I think it's been a long time since I did the latest video games volume and this volume is going to be a pretty decent size. There's two parts, one that I filmed earlier, and this, I didn't post it for a good while, and I was like, well, I just added more games and some movies here, and these movies will probably be the last ones I get till Christmas. So I'm not going to put no more movies in a haul video until Christmas. I know a lot of it's been a lot of movies, and I was like, yeah, well, let's just do games for a while and any comics I pick up. So we'll see. Now, I'm gonna start with the movies to get them out of the way first. And one of the movies that I love, I had really forgot about because I haven't seen it in close to 20 years. It's been a long time. It's been, I'd say when I last watched it on HBO, it's been so many years. And anyhow, the movie was called The Rat Pack, and I found it in the pawn shop. Now, if anybody doesn't remember, the Rat Pack is the classic Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, I think Joey Bishop, and somebody else. Well, they would all hang out together in Vegas. They just liked women and drinking and just having fun on stage. They just didn't care really, and they just liked being around each other. They were bros, man. They didn't, they were friends, and um, every era has a beginning, middle, and end. And the Rat Pack era was pretty much ending. It was fading after so long, from the 1950s into the 1960s. And one of the first signs that it was ending was the fact that Frank had to help, he wanted to help John F. Kennedy get an election, presidential election. And he thought, hey, I'll be best friends with the president. This will be good. And this has a story of that. And it didn't really work out the way Frank thought it would. And this is the movie that details it. And their relevance was kind of ending because the British invasion was coming and Elvis had taken over. Like I said, every era has this beginning, middle, and end. Now, moving on, I picked up this movie from Cheap Thrills, and I didn't pay this price for it. The guy cut it down. But it was called Full Moon's Zombie-Thon. And I think it shows clips from zombie movies. I'm going to watch it next. Should be cool. Yeah, the festival. The liveliest festival of the dead is about to begin. Oh, yeah. The guy told me I would like this one. That this is really good. And just in time for Halloween. We're getting ready to go into October. So that's kind of cool. Now, I went to Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree is sometimes on, sometimes off. Dollar Tree will have movies there that you'll be like, oh yeah, this is great, man. I can't believe this is a Dollar Tree. And then sometimes you'll be like, I can't believe I can't find nothing here. There's nothing really good. And I'll go for weeks. It's off and on. There's times it's on, and sometimes it's like, just nothing here. That's how it is with anywhere, I believe. I'll tell you a story about Cheap Thrills in a second. But anyhow, I found the Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 at Cheap Thrills. So this will actually give me this 2-part Dark Knight story. I haven't watched Part 1, so this is kind of nice. This is based on Frank Miller's graphic novel. If you haven't read it, it's a darn good read. Let's get back to the movies. Anyhow, at this Dollar Tree, I found Looking for Lena, which is based on John Lennon's early years. And I'm a big Beatles fan. I love the Beatles. They're highly influential. They're a great band. And the Beatles is one of my favorites of all time. And this has a great cover, by the way. I love that cover. And I love that you see John in his eras of the Beatles, but one of the missing eras is the beard, the long hair and beard era. I can't, they should have had him with the hat, that weird, that I've always wanted a hat like that. I wish I had hair. I would grow my hair out really long. I told Eddie that I would grow my hair out long, like I used to as a kid. And just I'd be like the John Lennon of the A-Team. I'd be sitting there, you'd be seeing me with the long hair, and I'd rock that look. I don't care. I don't. Now moving on, I picked this up at a pawn shop, and it's probably going to be trade bait because I can't really see. It's brand new. It's never been opened, as you can tell. See, never been opened. It's Chips 1999, a reunion movie. I didn't know they made it, and I think they was probably trying to do a new series of Chips, possibly because it showed them it's their road, it's their rules, maybe. But yeah, I'll trade this either to Jason or Larry. Get some trade credit. Okay. Moving on, I picked up, and this is a nice one. This was one that I liked. This is, we're going to the games now, by the way. So yeah, movies is over. I picked up a PlayStation 2 game called Backyard Wrestling 2. There Goes the Neighborhood. Oh yeah. And I always heard this was a good game, and yeah. But yeah, this one has New Jack, and I believe it's Pamela Anderson or Eileen Buck, or I believe, and one of the Insane Clown Posse members, who I believe is, if anybody, sadly New Jack is gone, the most violent mother effer in wrestling. I loved his whole deal. Throwing, I mean, the guy was violent. He actually, I seen ECW live back in his glory days, and he was the one guy that I would walk up to, and I was like, man, that guy's, I see he's intense, he's scary. I never get to talk to him. I'll admit it, dude. I was young. I mean, the dude spooked out of me. I mean, I should have. I mean, I should have got the guts, but the dude, I mean, he must have lived his gimmick because he walked by and, I mean, he looked intense. I was like, that guy just destroys people. He just beats people up with whatever object. He's carrying a piece of a broom, I believe, at the time. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to New Jack. This guy scared me. But yeah, he was cool. I mean, I loved watching him. I diving off the balcony. Yeah, I'm a chicken. I'll admit it. I should have talked to him, but he sounds like a cool guy, and I hate to see him gone. Now, if you're an Insane Clown Posse fan, sadly, I think this member announced that he's got heart failure, and I like one of their songs. I'm not a big major fan. Let's Go All the Way. I used to love that song. Now we're gonna go to the PlayStation 4, and I thought at first this was an RPG until I looked it up, and I got this game for free. It's Valentino Rossi. Oh yeah, for the PlayStation 4. It's a motorcycle game. I'd love to find the cases for it, but not too bad for a free game with my coupon I used. A couple weeks later, I was looking around, and I ran, Eddie and CJ had talked about this game for the PlayStation 4. It's called G.I.Joe, and I'm walking through, and I was like, is that the G.I. Joe game he was talking about? And I was like, Operation Blackout? And I said, it's got to be, because I Googled, and this is the only PlayStation 4 game with G.I. Joe in it. So, yeah. It's got Duke and Scarlet and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow on the cover. That's kind of cool. And I don't know much about it. I hope it's a good game. It was cheap. Now we're going to the pride and joy, the PlayStation 3, which I've got 5 good games, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to detail a story about the last 2, which one's never been opened. It's brand new, which I've already got it on. I've got it on PlayStation now. I can play. Anyhow, at the pawn shop, I picked 3 of these games up, and the lady and guy there always make me deals on the games when they get a lot of them. So I picked up Need for Speed Shift for the PlayStation 3. Car racing game. Everything's there. Looks good. I picked up Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, which I always remember as a series that I liked. This one has everything there with it. Yeah, there we go. Hot Pursuit. Police is chasing after you. You go by and give them the finger. And finally, I picked up WWE All-Stars. And this is a nice one. And it don't have the game book case. I need to get it. I'm going to change the case out, because it's got scratches here in the case. But the CD's in, the game's in great shape. I actually could have picked this up at a flea market about 2 or 3 years ago, back in like 2018, and the guy, he was just too hard. He was wanting like 15 or $20 for the game. I was like, nah, that's just too much. It's a PlayStation 3 game. It's not really that highly sought after. Even though it's got Hogan facing Cena, getting ready to get it on. Now, these came from Cheap Thrills, and the guy knocked these down. He knocked these down to a part where I can actually get them. And I wasn't, it was nice of him to do. He knocked them down so I can, put them in my budget. And these two games, they had gotten a lot in. I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is great. I picked up. There was actually 4 games I wanted to get, and I put 2 of them back. And I was like, I'm gonna go with the ones I really want. And one of them is an RPG called Exalia 3: Absence of Justice. Exalia 3. It's an RPG. I love finding RPGs for the PlayStation 3. This was his first one I found in a couple years. He had Nino Cooney, and I was like, man, I've got that game, but it'd be kind of cool just to pick it up and possibly trade it. And I was like, nah, I've got it. I'm not good into speculation that much. I've done it maybe once or twice. I just don't feel really good speculating a lot on games. And when I mean speculating, I mean getting the games and flipping them real quick. I'm not really into that, doing it. I like to get unopened games and keep them at times, and this is one of them. I've got Ratchet and Crank, a Crack in Time, and I've got this. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 3 now, and I picked it up because it's unopened. And I was like, man, that's an unopened Ratchet and Clank game. That'll be kind of cool to put in the collection. And as you can see, it's never been opened. Nice shape, nice little cover. I like that, and I picked it up. It's really cool. But yeah, that's just recently. Like I said, this was in the last week or two, and I filmed a part earlier, so we're going to flip to that right now.
Hey everybody, it's your friend Richard, aka ECW Fan, and this is the latest video games. Now, this volume, I don't know what the number is, it's been so long, but anyhow, this volume has 7 games in 6 cases. One of them is actually a combo game, which surprised me when you see it. It also has 3 cool movies, which I'm going to plan to show off. 3 of these movies, I think Eddie knows about 2 of them. It's been a while since I got to show them all off and show the games in this volume, so I'm going to go ahead and get it done. Anyhow, one of the movies that Cheap Thrills had, and they had a nice little sale going, and the guy always gives me a good rebate whenever I buy movies or games and Cheap Thrills, was Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. And I always loved Back to School. Now, there was 3 movies that Rodney Dangerfield made, or 4 movies that I always hold up as classics to me. I always hold up Caddyshack. I always hold up Back to School. And I always hold up Easy Money. And those were 2 solo Dangerfield films, Back to School and Easy Money. Both of them were just really good Dangerfield films in the 80s. Just solo for him. Now, in the 90s, there was a 90s one that a lot of people really skip by, and I don't think I've ever seen it on DVD yet. It is Meet Wally Sparks. I don't know what it is about that movie, but I always loved him as this talk show host. It's just like Springer, and he's just so outrageous, and it's got all kinds of guest appearances. It's got Mary Lou Henner, it's got Tony Danza, it's got Burt Reynolds. All these people just show up in this movie. But I'm going to try to get Easy Money next and Meet Wally Sparks if I can find it on DVD to go with my Caddyshack and Back to School. Now, 2 Blu-rays that Cheap Thrills had, and it surprised me about this, and it really surprised me to see this, was two animated features. One of them is Necessary Evil, the supervillains of the DC Comics. And I love seeing this. This is the Joker, Lex Luthor, Sinestro. It's got Catwoman, Bane. Well, I'm not really a big Bane fan. That's always been my thing. It's got Deathstroke on the back, Black Manta. Eddie had this, I think, and he said, "Man, it's a good thing." He said, I picked it up. I saw it in there. I was like, "I'm gonna go ahead and get that for Blu-ray. That's pretty cool to get." Another one I picked up, and I just picked it up because I'm a big Justice League fan, and I always loved this team. And with Zatanna and Swamp Thing and Deadman and Constantine, it's Justice League Dark. Now, if anybody remembers, for the longest time, for the last decade plus, Del Toro, Guillermo, I believe that's how you pronounce his first name, has wanted to do a Justice League Dark film. He's always been attached to it. I don't know if it's dead now or not. I've always heard that was something that they thought about doing. So I went ahead and picked up Justice League Dark. And the guy gave me a good deal for the 2 Blu-rays because, it was cheap. I went ahead and done it. Now, getting to the games, like I said at the start, the games was unique. But I'm going to show you one of them is. It's 2 games in one, and it's a combo which I've never seen. And even the guy said it. He said, "I've never seen that before. It's the first time they've done it that he saw." Anyhow, I picked up Call of Duty Advanced Warfare at a GameStop. I had this for the PlayStation 4, and if anybody don't remember, Kevin Spacey did the voice, and he animated a character. I know Spacey's done some terrible things, and I think he's been blackballed from Hollywood. I've heard about some stuff. I'm not gonna get into that, but before all that happened, he was actually in Advanced Warfare. It's just weird that and he played a bad guy in it. Now this is where the uniqueness comes in, because I picked up Advanced Warfare and these 2 games because I've never seen this in a combo pack. 2 sports games. It was Major League Baseball 2K13 and NBA 2K13. This was just one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And the guy said, this is the only time that he knows that they ever had a combo game. And there's two discs in this set. There's 2 discs in this set. He put them in there. And we talked about that. And he said, "I've never seen it again." And it's just weird to see that Major League Baseball and the National Basketball Association agreed to having their licenses shared in one game as a combo. I mean, it was weird to see. And I don't know the players on here. I'm not a big baseball fan. But I was like, that's cheap enough for the price. It's unique. I've never seen it before. Pick it up. Now, I got this at a flea market. And this one was pretty unique because months ago, I think it was last year, there was a guy named Eric Landon that does RPGs. And, on his list, I'll scroll through. And there's actually 2 games I found on his list that I was really happy to get that you'll see on there. But one of these is ones that he said wasn't that good. And it was called Time and Eternity. I can't find a case for this. I'm sorry, but I've tried to find, I've got to get the game art. This is the first time I've seen Time and Eternity in a game, as a game at a flea market. And, I was like, damn, that's unique to see that. Wow, that's pretty cool. And I've tried GameStops to see if they've got the case art, and I haven't had no luck in the last couple months since I picked that up. Now, the final game I picked up, and this was on Eric Landon's list as a good game, and I saw that, and I was like, this is really cool to get, and I think it's about 2 years old. He doesn't list, but this is Tales of Exalia, and I've got a couple of the Tales games, and this was one that he ranked up there, so I went ahead and picked it up. But yeah, because I like RPGs. I like long games because you get more time out of them, and that's just me. I love RPG games.